Hello, welcome back. All right, so I got my bound curriculum in and school starts tomorrow. I got it yesterday. I'm super excited that it got here before school. I went ahead and printed like all the first week stuff in case it didn't, but it got here. A little note, I don't know if the camera shook or anything. My husband and my child are home, so we may have a couple interruptions, but no big deal. I have a lot to talk about this time, so I'm going to try and get straight into it. I got my bound curriculum. I wanted to go through it before school started tomorrow because there's some things that I want to cut up and laminate for activities and stuff, so I figured I would make this video really quick to just kind of talk about my curriculum. So I have told y'all in past videos, but if you hadn't seen them, we chose to do Torchlight Curriculum. We're secular homeschooling. This is a literature-based curriculum, which is really fun for us. So that's what we decided to do, was Torchlight. I'm going to tell you a little bit about the packages that they have. So we're obviously doing pre-K. You can buy just the pre-K curriculum, or you can buy it with the add-ons. So the pre-K curriculum, just straight up, is $30. Then if you want to get the math inquiry add-on to add a little extra math to the curriculum, that's another $10. And then if you want to get the mindfulness badges, which I'm going to go over what those are, that's another $6. So total, if you got everything for the pre-K curriculum, it's only $46. But they do have a bundle, which is what I bought, where you can get it all for $41, so you can save $5. So that's what I did, is I got the bundle and I got everything, and it comes in PDF form, so it's just like a digital download, and then you can keep it in PDF, or you can have it professionally printed, or you can just print it as you need it. I chose to get it professionally printed because I am a hard copy type of person. I went through Hard Copy HQ. It was in one of my homeschooling groups on Facebook. They all mentioned it. She's actually local here, but they did a fantastic job. I'll show you really quick. So I chose to get on the curriculum, the main curriculum, I chose to get the first page printed in color, and then all of the rest is printed in black and white. That was just to save a little bit of money. You can do it however you want. You can print it all. It's bound. It's got a little plastic clear cover on the front and on the back to just keep it safe. They did a really fantastic job on the stuff that I got printed that's not bound. They did a great job. The colors are super pretty. The paperweight is nice. I was really happy with it. Anyways, all that to tell you, I paid about the same amount to buy my curriculum as I did to bind it. So I think it was $44.22. And I'm going to show you kind of everything that I got bound, because I got 2 bound spirals, the math inquiries and the curriculum. And then I also got a bunch of stuff printed because I actually just bought a nice printer, but I didn't have a good printer. So I was like, for all the activities, I wanted to have it printed so that it looked nice. But I got all that too, and that was $44.22 for all of that, which was not too bad. So in total, for all of the curriculum for Torchlight, I spent about $80, a little over $80, and that's not including the literature that you need for the course. So I did the math earlier just to kind of give you an idea of the total for Torchlight on what you would need for all of the curriculum, and for the spine books only, not even the recommended add-ons like the cooking books or anything like that. For only the spine books, and this was on Amazon that I bought all of these, it was just over $200, $203. And I did not shop around, so I know that you could get those books cheaper if you went to like half price books or something like that. But total for all of the curriculum and books, it was under $300, which I think is pretty good for a school year curriculum. That seems about normal. My first year doing this, so can't tell you much on that, but I was pleased with the price of getting everything. So that's all the logistics on getting the curriculum. I want to tell you a little bit about what comes in the curriculum. Like I said, I bought the pre-K curriculum, the math inquiry tables, and the mindfulness moment badges. The inquiry tables is going to be, extensions of math. Each month is 4 weeks of prompts. So like month 1, we're going over numbers. It gives a little description of what you're talking about. It gives you your book add-ons that you could do. It's not required to have reading on this. None of the books for the math inquiry tables are required. It tells you what kind of manipulatives you're going to need and any kind of storage and printable activities and your additional resources. Then with each month, it has 4 prompts for each week, and then the instructions on how to follow through with those prompts. So the first prompt for the math inquiry tables is how many counters represent each of these number symbols. So I printed off, which they give you in this also, a full sheet of number cards, and I printed them off and cut them out and laminated them. So Bobby has all of these little number cards, and then she'll use her manipulatives, her counters, to show how many go with each number. So I just bought on Amazon, we bought a million different kinds of counters. I don't know why I'm obsessed with counters, but I bought these like little plastic colorful counters that we're gonna start off with so that she can kind of practice putting the number symbols to the amounts that they go with. So for the month 1, we have how many counters represents these number symbols. Can you match the amounts with the correct number symbols? Which Lego tower has bigger Lego amounts? And can you fill the correct number symbols to match the dominoes? So it's 4 prompts, 1 for each week, and then they'll go into descriptions on how to do each one. These are supposed to be set up on at a station so that they can go to them and practice doing them whenever they want to. It's not something that is an activity that you'll have set up and you'll just do it once and that's it. It's something that for the whole week they want them to be able to go to and practice for a whole week. So we added that on since Bobby's only 3. If this school year is becoming overwhelming and I can tell it's not helping either of us, not moving her forward, we're getting more frustrated than anything else, probably this is going to be the first thing that goes out the door, but we'll have it for when she is ready for it, which I'm cool with. That's kind of how this whole plan is going right now. She's young. I'm aware of that. If I need to cut back or stop, I'll have it all for when she's ready. So that's where we're at right now. That's the math inquiry tables. The other thing that we bought as an extension is the Mindfulness Moments badges. These go with the Breathe Like a Bear spine book. This is what it looks like. They give you quite a few pages with 4 icons on each one. You'll cut them out and laminate them. Then they give you these charts that you laminate that and you hang all the charts on the wall. I'll show you mine on how it looks right now. And then as you go through the Breathe Like a Bear book, as they learn each of these mindfulness moments, like the first one is candle breath, as they go through each one and they practice and they master them, they get a badge and they get to put it on the wall as like, good job, you've done it. And it's also a reminder for when they need to take a moment, they can go look at their badges and decide which moment would work best for them in that time. So those are the mindfulness moments. I'm super excited about those. This is probably one of the most exciting things with Bobby's curriculum for me. I think it'll be fun for both of us to practice these moments. So those are the 2 extensions that I added on. With just the regular pre-K curriculum, they give you, it comes with 3 separate PDFs in the file. So the main PDF is your full curriculum. One of the other PDFs is which I printed and had bound into my curriculum, a chart of the books that you'll need for each week. So it breaks them up by week 1. These are the books. These are extensions if you want to add extra books. I've gone through each week and highlighted the book that is not a spine book, because every week we're going to have one book that is going to be just a literature book to read and that ties into the weekly learnings. So I've gone through and I've highlighted each book in each week. That way when I go to the library, it's easier for me to find the name and the author of the books that I need for the next 2 weeks. We're going to the library every 2 weeks to pick out our books. So the first 2 weeks I've highlighted in pink, the next 2 weeks I've highlighted in green. That way, again, just keeps me organized on which books I need to get at the library that week. The last thing that comes in the digital download for Torchlight's curriculum is an activity PDF, which gives you all of the printed or all of the activities that will need to be printed for your curriculum so that your kids can practice. So I had those printed too because at the time I didn't have a good printer. Not only have they put all of the activities that are in the curriculum, but I actually found a couple extension activities that they've added in here too. Like in the actual curriculum, they don't have the feeling faces. So again, this comes with your purchase of the curriculum, but in this, if you're just planning on printing this, you won't have some of the extensions. So just to give you an idea, I did, because I told you I printed the first week of activities because I wasn't sure the curriculum would be here in time. It tells you which activities you're going to want to laminate because you'll use them over and over again. I'm probably going to laminate all the activities for the pre-K curriculum because I don't know if I'm going to be using this again. Since we're not sure, sorry, my dog. Since I'm not sure if she's going to be going fully through the first year of pre-K or if we're going to have to be taking it slow or if we're going to need to do it one more time around next year, I kind of want to not be wasteful and like print it out twice. So I am laminating everything so that I can reuse it if I have to, which might be wasteful in lamination actually. Anyways, doesn't matter. So the first activity for week 1 is a matching game on daytime and nighttime. So day animals and nocturnal animals. So it's got this little chart that I laminated, and then it comes with a page full of animals, and I laminated those and made them into little pieces for them to be able to put on the chart. For the first 2 weeks, we're going to have a couple friends with us. Their mom is a teacher, and she's starting online school for 2 weeks, and then they'll be going back into regular school. To help her out, I'm keeping the kids, so I have a couple of these made up so that they can do it too. I think it'll be fun for Bobby to have a friend at the beginning too. Also, since we're going through a lot of emotional intelligence, they give you emotional skills badges. These are very similar to the Mindfulness Moments badges, where you get a chart that you put up on the wall, and as they master and learn about and we talk about their emotions, they get to put that emotion on the wall. This is also great for them identifying their emotions. When they're having an emotional moment, you could talk to them about which emotion they're feeling right now, stuff like that. Easy for them to see. So that's the activities PDF that you get. I am going to now, I guess, go into the fun stuff. Going into the full curriculum. We're going to talk about that a little bit. I am following this pretty closely. I'm not straying too much from their curriculum. I've added in the math inquiry tables, and then I kind of, when we have a book that I know we have that goes along with what we're learning, I've kind of put that in as something else we can do if we have time, but I don't want to like overload our schedule because she is so young, so I don't know if that's going to work out yet. And I might, as like holidays come up, add in some holiday learning. They do kind of go around the holidays, but because we're doing year-round school, ours is not going to be following their normal schedule, so it might get off on us. Okay, so with the first, or the main curriculum, basically the first page is just your table of contents. It's going to go over where you can find each week. Then they have a welcome to Torchlight where they just kind of talk about the curriculum in general. Then we go to how to use this curriculum, the general flow of Torchlight. They do a connections year-long project, which every week we're doing a little project that will get added to a book that we're binding ourselves with yarn at the end of the year. So that's like their keepsake, the thing that you put in your memories box for them, which I think is really sweet. I'm super excited about the Connections project and to see how it ends up at the end of the year. So they have the Connection year-long project and how that works. They talk about gathering all of your materials at the beginning. I have not done that. I'm just gathering as we go. But they do talk about it works best if you gather all of your materials and have them ready to go. Literacy games and numeracy, music and poetry, science. So they're just kind of telling you about their approach to all of these topics. And then the recommended curriculum for advanced learners, kids that are already kind of far along, and then reading and writing. Then it talks about getting started, the prep you should do before you start, and the prep you should do before your school year starts. Then they have a general material list. So these are going to be all of the items that you use frequently, the materials that they go back to a lot. This is not a full list of all of the supplies that you will need, just what you use a lot of. Then they also have an optional nature walk exploration kit. I've talked about how Torchlight is very outdoor centric. They want kids exploring and learning through inquiry. So they have an optional exploration kit, which I think is great. I've gotten some of the things from it, but not everything. We have created like a little outdoor satchel that we'll take with us on all of our trips to look for treasures, as my daughter calls them. After that, they have their book list. This is not the weekly book list like before. This is just a quick overview of all of the books that are used, like that are scheduled to be used in the curriculum, not extensions. Anything with a star by it is your spine book. They do put the week that you use it so that you kind of know how soon you're going to need these books. The next page is the spine books. And then they have supplementation. So these are all over the board in what they are. So the first page is going to be books, and then they have videos, apps, shows, and podcasts that you could add into. So after that, they go straight into the actual scheduling. They have an optional weekly schedule already planned and how you could do it. They set it up so that you are learning for 4 days, and the 5th day is like a field trip day, a way to get out of the classroom. This is obviously, like I said, this is completely optional. You can do it however you want. I'm pretty much following this to a T, except that Fridays aren't our field trip days. Fridays, Bobby goes to her grand's house, and that's my day to actually work on my photography business. But since we're doing year-round school, we have at least a break a month, and all of our field trips will be taken during that break. That's how we're getting out of the house. So they have the weekly optional schedule broken down by subject and then day. And then they have the learning partner prep. So the prep that you as a parent need to do before the week starts. And then the activity supplies for all of the activities for that week. And then on the next page is the breakdown of each lesson for the week. So it gives you what you're doing for the seasonal song, and even like on some of these it gives you optional extra talking points about what you're teaching. So that's that. And then on the next page it is the connection project. So what I was telling you earlier, the project that you do each week and then you bind together at the end of the year. It talks you through the connection project for that week. And then you have your enrichment extensions. So extra stories, games, music, videos, and apps. After that will be where the activities are. So these are the things that I got printed separately. I wanted to keep my curriculum completely intact so that if I do have to use it again, I know where everything kind of lines up easily. But you could just, to save money, kind of like cut them out of the curriculum and use them that way. I wouldn't get them printed front and back though if you're doing that, because obviously you couldn't cut them. But each week looks exactly the same. So this is week 2, where you have your schedule, your prep stuff, the lesson plans, and then connection projects, extra enrichment activities. It goes through 32 weeks. Then at the very back, they have a few extra things. So after the 32 weeks, they have a level pre-K exit interview for your kid to take. And then they have Torchlight exclusive pre-literacy games. So these are extra literacy games that you could play with your kiddo. And then after the games, they have the math and pre-literacy introduction alternative schedule if you wanted it a little differently. Yeah, and then that's it. After that, I have put in my book list on the very back, so it's easy for me when library days come up. But that's it. That's all that's in the curriculum. It's very well laid out, in my opinion. I, again, have no experience. I don't know how other curriculums are laid out, but I am really pleased with how this one is laid out, and it works really well for who I am. I have to help me see everything, since I have added in math inquiry tables and extra books that I know I have. I got my own planner, and I've been writing each weekend on my own. A lot of this is repetitive and probably a waste of time for most people. But it helps me to be able to see exactly what I'm doing and to make sure I'm noticing everything that we're doing, and to see where I could fill in spaces later. So on my planner, it's got the monthly, but it also has each week laid out with my subjects, and I've put it in pretty much just like Torchlight does, but then I've added in my math inquiry tables and then extra learning ideas. So since I'm going to have 2 extra kids with me the first 2 weeks, I wanted to make sure I had some busy work, so that if one kid is taking a little bit longer to finish an activity, probably my daughter because she's the youngest, the other 2 had other things to do in that time. So I've added in a coloring page that I've printed off already. I have a book called Bug Hotel that I think is going to go with animal habitats. It's just more like insect habitats, but it'd be a good extension. And then I have one other book that I think we could add in too. So that's basically how I'm keeping myself organized at the moment. Things may change, and I'll let y'all know if they do. I know that I went through a ton of information really fast because I didn't want this to be forever long, and I've already had to start my recording over again, so I already know it's unedited over 30 minutes. But if you have any questions about the content, or if I wasn't clear about anything that you would like just a little more information on, feel free to hit me up in the comments and I'll give you the answer to the best of my abilities. I am extremely excited to start tomorrow. I've been kind of pumping Bobby up, and I think she's excited too. I know she's excited, I just don't think she totally understands what's happening. Because she's an only child, she hasn't ever seen a kid go to school. But I'm really excited about it. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I am a day away from school, and I still don't know what I'm doing with this. But I think it's going to be fun. If you have any questions, make sure to hit me up. If you liked this video, give me the thumbs up. Subscribe if you want to see more from me. Hit the notification bell to make sure you see more from me. And I will see y'all next time. Bye, guys.